Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. As you could probably tell from the thumbnail, we're taking a look at two Sonia G brushes today. Sculpt Two, which originally was a part of the collection, has now been redesigned, but the new brush that she added is the Builder 3. We'll take a look at them individually, also make some comparisons with the brushes she mentioned in her comparison Instagram post. I have a couple of them here, not all of them, but we can at least gauge the differences in size and whatnot and get deep into it. If you want to see the new redesigned Sculpt Two and Builder 3 brushes from Sonia G, then please keep on watching. Hello my friends, if it's your first time here, thank you so much for coming. My name is Alicia and my platform Kinky Sweat represents my kinky hair and sweat life. I am a fitness professional here at NYC. If you want to take a look at any of my class schedules or events going on, head over to my website. If you also want to take a look at my daily movement musings on Instagram, then head on over as well. Anytime Sonia G releases a brush, I'm buying it without question. That's just it. Redesigned Sculpt Two and the new Builder 3. I do have the original Sculpt Two, so we'll take a look at both brushes. I do have Builder 1. I don't have Builder 2. I don't have the MAC 239, I believe it is. Hello? Yes, I don't have the MAC 239, but I do have my Zoeva 234, which I use quite a bit. If you've seen a lot of my eyeshadow palette videos, I feel it likens to the shape and size of the MAC 239, so we'll take a look at that as well. I have her Instagram post up comparing both brushes because I just feel what better person to explain details about her brushes than Sonia. You know what I mean? Here is the redesigned Sculpt number 2. Now, I watched them. Aren't you proud of me? I know. Here is the newly designed Sculpt number 2. It has the same wide handle with the beautiful red to black gradient on the handle. I mean, this is just a piece of art. Red and black is just like the best. And here is the originally designed Sculpt 2. So if we put them head to head, she did explain that the new Sculpt 2 has longer bristles, is a touch fluffier than the original Sculpt 2. And although they are similar in size, you can tell that the newer Sculpt 2 has longer bristles and is not as dense as the original. And here is the new brush, newest addition to our collection, the Builder 3. Very different from the original brush head on Builder 1. New Builder 3 and older Builder 1. You can see the brush heads are very different, and I feel people will probably have a better response to the Builder 3 simply because it just looks like a more traditional shader brush. This is designed originally, the first Builder 1, to pick up hard to work with textures but very lightly place them on the lid. It's not really to place a lot of pigment on the lid. As she explained, she doesn't like a lot of shimmer on her lid, so she designed a brush that will make that happen. If we go back to Sculpt number 2, I'm heading over to her Instagram post so we can get details on why she redesigned it and what should we expect from the newly designed brush. Originally the Sculpt 2 was out of stock, but then she restocked with the newer design. This brush is not actually the same as before. The bristles got extended 5 millimeters. No, that's not it. 5 mm, which makes the brush a bit more versatile. Okay. From 22 mm, they changed to 27 mm, but both the softness and the price remain unchanged. Great. Is that millimeters? The idea with the initial Sculpt 2 was to create a tool that could help mitigate the issues we face with difficult to pick or build products when we want to give a polished finish without irritating the skin. This new updated version still covers those roles, but it is slightly more airy and therefore a bit more versatile. I'll also head over to the Beautylish website, which of course always beautifully outlines details for their products. The newly updated Sculpt 2 brush breathes new life into sheer or powdery products that are difficult to apply. The airy fan-shaped head picks up even the most stubborn powders and applies them with buildable payoff. It is also perfect for creating a dramatic contour, blending away streaks, and cleaning up skin after baking with setting powder. Some products play hard to get, and this brush is dedicated to them all. The fan shape is dense and powerful, so it can pick up the toughest powders and blend anything. Why it's special. The springy natural bristles offer just enough stiffness to build up stubborn sheer powders while still feeling comfortably soft on the skin. Okay, we are now at the step of my complexion that I did apply my foundation, some concealer for contouring. I did set the under eyes along with the concealer, so we're gonna bring you in a little closer. Ooh, Ooh, we're really close. Here is how the skin is looking without it being set. And now I kind of want to dabble in as many products as I can, displaying how beautifully the Sculpt Two works. And also I'll use the originally designed Sculpt number 2 because, and ultimately the question is, if you have the original Sculpt number 2, do you really need the newly designed Sculpt number 2? I will address that question after we have completed the demo. If you want to skip over to that portion, as you know, timestamps are down below always for my videos. If you still feel the need to add to the comments where your favorite part is, please go ahead, but I'm already ahead of you. Hard to pick up products. I feel she is referring to those like gelée types of formulas. For instance, the NARS bronzing powder is like a gel powder type of gig going on, so we'll apply some of that. But I also kind of want to apply a traditional powder as well, so we'll dip into my Makeup Forever Artist Color Sculpt Powder in, I believe this is S118. It's either S118 or S116. All the details will be down below. Let's take the new Sculpt number 2. I'll tap into the sculpting powder first, and I'm taking it on one side. Always kind of tap off lightly before you go in quickly. And I'll start very top of the hollows of my cheekbone and start to go in. This is incredibly soft. I love the way it just glides across the skin. It does not disrupt my foundation or even the concealer I placed on here. Let's go in with the original Sculpt number 2 just to kind of see how it feels, the difference. I do feel it's a touch denser for sure, but you can see how beautifully it still moves across the skin. It looks like I might have had blush on those bristles, but I washed it. Life's daily mysteries. At the same time, yes, the new Sculpt 2 definitely has a lot more movement to it than the original. But the original, I feel, still is making it happen. It's not too dense that you cannot move it around on your skin. I feel you will still have a successful time applying your contour if you want it with the original design. But I understand if you were looking for a little more movement, or you needed a brush, if you don't have the Sculpt 2 at all and you were contemplating getting it, but if you felt it was too dense for any of the products you wanted to apply it with, maybe you consider it now. All right, let's go into the hard to work with bronzer texture. New Sculpt number 2. Let's see how it do. Oh, that's pretty. I freaking love this brush, man. Original Sculpt number 2. Not bad as well. I feel like it's getting it on there. Still, you know what I mean? Taking the new Sculpt 2 on my forehead. And why not? I'll just use the same brush here. I haven't baked in a minute, but why not? I'm taking my Sigma Power Play sponge with the Hourglass translucent veil. Oh, you guys are killing me. I'm gonna carve right under the cheekbone. All right, that's nice. Also, why not? I'm going to make sure I give this a wipe. I didn't set my forehead, so I'll take some of the translucent veil with the new Sculpt 2. I'm just going to take that around the forehead to lightly set, especially here down the bridge of my nose as well as the sides. And then let's go in and brush off the bake with the same brush. Really nice. I love how this brush feels against the skin. I mean, it is just heavenly. And I do feel the difference since the bristles are longer. It does feel airy in touch. I'm now going to apply some blush. Ooh, I'm gonna do my Hourglass Vivid Flush. Take some of that. This blush packs a punch, so. Ooh, I love it for blush. I'm gonna move in towards the lens because she doesn't want to focus when I zoom in. So here is how the skin is looking. I feel it looks incredibly smooth. Nothing looks disrupted. Even the original Sculpt 2, I felt laid the product on. Hello, you want to focus on me? I felt even the original Sculpt 2 laid the product on beautifully as well on this side of my face. So I feel you have to ask yourself, do you typically use fan brushes to apply your contour, blush, bronzer, or even loose powder anyway? If you don't, then maybe you don't need this brush. If you already have the original Sculpt 2 and you love what it does, maybe you don't need the new Sculpt 2. If you are a Sonia G fan, then that's just a totally different conversation. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. Face is set. I think, oh, why don't we apply some highlighter? A hard to pick up highlighter shade, of course, NARS Fort de France, which is like, again, this cream thing going on. New Sculpt 2. Oh, that's okay. Okay, I understand. I got it. Old Sculpt Two. This I would pull down with the more dense design. I find that it works a little better for me on my cheekbone, but that's beautiful too. This will pack a little more punch, as you see, because the bristles are shorter and a little tighter together. I'm just taking a little bit away. This side gets a little out of hand always, so I don't know. All right, friends, face is done. Now what I'll do, I'm gonna start off my eyes. Look who got the Sculpt palette, because I saw Mel's video. I don't know if she has this hashtag yet, must-haves by Mel must-haves. Anything she says I should take a look at, I'm gonna look at it, you know what I mean? She was comparing the new Urban Decay Naked Reloaded palette to the sultry one because the color scheme is very similar. Ultimately, she said if you had to decide between the two, she would get sultry because it has a little more punch, and currently it's on sale for $27. I don't know if it'll still be on sale by the time I upload this video, but maybe you could take a look at it. I'm happy I waited and didn't jump the gun when it initially released because look, I saved a couple of bucks. I'm going to start out this eye, come back when we can get to the Builder 3 application, and I'll see you there. I applied Twig and Dystopian already on my crease and not a V. Now let's take a look at Builder 3. The description on her Instagram post as well as the one on Beautylish, why not? Here is the new Builder 3. This is a classic square flat laydown brush, but every little detail matters. From the way the bristles are layered to its shape with the thick, steady tip, it's meant to apply mattes, shimmers, metallics, work with any type of powder evenly and easily. The sides are ideally sized for the mobile lid and is bundled with enough density to also place, smudge, or buff with the tip of the brush, allowing control with the intensity as you build up the color. Ooh, it's starting to snow! Okay, for those of you searching for a similar brush to the MAC 239, this is my idea behind the design. Replicate that type of functionality. It's thicker sideways, but that was to give the brush more softness and also more grip on the product. So the big challenge was actually to make a brush super efficient yet super soft. Oh, yes it is. Oh, that's nice. I just realized I did not mention the price for Sculpt Two. I probably would have edited in at that portion of the video. It is $58, which was the price of the originally designed Sculpt number 2. Builder 3 is $32. And on the Beautylish website, it says Builder 3 is more than just a classic lay-down brush. It packs on all types of powder eyeshadow from matte to shimmer to metallic with an even finish, no matter how you angle it. The size and density is perfectly calibrated to apply, smudge, and buff with these. Yes, yes, yes. Dye-side coho goat hair, just as the Sculpt 2 is. I stopped at this portion because I want to use this to apply lower lash line shadow as well as inner V shadow, so we're gonna crack into it. Oh, but wait. Let's take a look quickly at the comparisons that I gathered here. She also has this on her Instagram. Here I have Builder 3, the original Builder 1, my Zoeva 234, and the Builder Pro from her Pro eye set. I actually think the Zoeva is very similar to the MAC 239 in size and in shape. You see the Builder Pro is a lot more tapered and not quite as thick as the newer Builder 3. Going back into sultry, and if you want to see a 3-look video using sultry, let me know down below. I'm already really loving it. I love these tones, man. I'm gonna now use the Builder 3 with Dystopian because we're doing the halo. I'm placing it first on the inner third of my lid because I want to smoke it in as well. I find when I use a shader type of brush for this application, I have a little bit more control. And then let's just start to pull it through the crease. Not too bad. I like what that did. Definitely, despite it being densely packed, it is still very soft, and I feel it moves the shadow very well. It is designed to deal with all finishes, matte through metallics. I will take her Crease Pro just so I could smooth that out a little bit, because ultimately anytime I blend, I just rather use a blendy, fluffy, tapered brush. I'm sure she understands. Not bad. I felt that laid down the matte beautifully. What I want to do now is take the shade Twig, use the same Builder 3, but now let's see how it does for lower lash line application. Gorgeous. Perfect. I find this ideal if you don't like a smoky lower lash line, but because I do, I would use a fluffier brush, but this is just personal preference. I really love to smoke out my shadow on the lower lash line. That's just me. But if you want a more concentrated placement of color, which we can now do with Dystopian, taking Builder 3 again with that shade, and now just to the outer third of the lower lash line, as well as pulling it higher, but now punching in the mat a little bit to further shape this V I'm looking to create. Do it here on the other side. Going back with her Crease Pro just to further shape this out. Applying a little more dystopian. Away number 16 just to further fluff and buff. Not bad. It's looking good, man. All right, let's take you in a little closer. Whoa, so we can see how Builder 3 deals with metallic finishes. So noisy. So noisy. Ooh, what should we do on the lid, friends? I am feeling ember. So what we'll do is first see how this applies dry. I have my Max Fix Plus on standby to wet if we need a little more punch. Making sure I wiggle that brush in. Tap, tap. Let's see what it do. Oh, not bad at all. That's pretty good. Got on there fast. I love that. I am going to spritz because you know I like my shine. Same Builder 3, same shade, and now with a little Max Fix Plus to pump up the glitz. Hello, are you gonna focus on me? That's pretty. I love that. Let's go in on the other side, shall we? Very versatile. Definitely more versatile than the Builder 1 simply because it's fluffier, it's more densely packed, it could deal with a lot more finishes. So if you don't have an eye brush from Sonia at all, and you're thinking about whether it be from her Pro line or her regular line, I would consider Builder 3, man. It does a lot. It's definitely thicker than my Zoeva 234. If you're looking for a thinner brush, because if you love to do cut crease types of look, this might not be ideal simply because it's more dense, it's more fluffy, it's not going to give you as precise of a line that a thinner shader brush would. But again, if you're not doing that type of eye look, you want blurred lines and you want something to look a little more not as precise but more blended, then I would consider this design. What I want to do now is I'm going to apply a shade now to the inner third of my lower lash line. And what shall we do? I'm looking at steampunk. Let's do that. But now I'll take it on the very tip of Builder 3. I'm gonna definitely wet that just to the inner third of my lower lash line. This will be perfect if I want it to be really smoky all the way across. This is a good size for that purpose. Ooh, we're looking real gold, man, on this lower lash line. Woo! Now, just so you can see what the original Builder 1 is designed to do, it's designed to not pick up as much product. So for instance, if we were to layer any of these over each other, I would go in with Pearl with the original Builder 1, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. It still picks up quite a bit, but now you just lightly tap over that shadow and it's going to give it a little bit of light, but not overwhelm the shadow. So just enough to add that dimension. Now with Builder Pro, since it's more tapered, I'll use that now. Let's see, I'm going to go in same shade with Pearl, but now apply that to the inner corner. Eyeshadow look is complete. Let's slap on some mascara and I'll be right back. Makeup is complete, my friends. On the lips, I have the Pat McGrath Luxe Trans lipstick in Los Angeles, topped with my favorite. For real. And here is the finished eye look as well as the finished complexion. And I'm sure you're all wondering, Alicia, do I need these brushes? I mean, it's an automatic yes for me because, again, I am a Sonia G fan. Ever since I started using premium brushes, I just felt and seen the difference in my makeup application. The fact that I apply so many products, I applied 2 foundations, concealer contour, concealer highlight under the eyes, contour powder, bronzer, highlighter, blush, and it still looks like my skin. And I feel that's a testament to these brushes, how they're designed, how they are meant to perform and just yield the most flawless results you could possibly expect and ask for. If you already have Sculpt number 2, you love what it does, you don't feel like you need to change anything about it, its design, its application, then yes, you don't need the new Sculpt number 2. I do love the new Sculpt number 2 because anytime versatility is a part of the process, it's a win for me. The fact that you can use this for any portion of your complexion routine, you can't ask for anything more than that. You can apply your bronzer, your blush, your loose powder, your highlighter, any capacity, whether you want a wash of color or you want more precision. Because the bristles are longer, it's going to allow more flexibility in terms of a more airy application. This is more dense because the bristles are shorter and the brush is more tightly packed. If you thought this was not ideal for you to apply bronzer and contour with because it didn't move the product around well enough for you, then yes, maybe you would consider the new Sculpt number 2. but I have Sculpt number 1, and this is my ideal brush for bronzer application. And if you have maybe a more traditional tapered brush for your bronzer or loose powder, then stick with that. I'm not even going to show the Wayne Holiday brush because that sold out so fast yesterday, and we're not going to talk about it. And again, as I mentioned before, ultimately you have to figure out, are you a fan brush person or a tapered brush person? People can't stand fan brushes despite how beautifully they might perform. If you're not comfortable with that design, then don't buy the Sculpt Two. Sonia loves fan brushes, so she's gonna make it happen in terms of creating a brush that's going to be unparalleled in design and performance. It's going to allow you to use it for your whole face routine, except of course any cream products you might use for it, but anything powder, she's gonna make sure your experience is out of this world, and she's gonna make it happen with the fan brush design. If you like how much product you get from the older Sculpt Two, then maybe the new Sculpt Two will apply too little product for you. In this digital age, it's very hard to ignore FOMO. If you see a post saying, I can't live without this brush, this is the best brush of life, oh my gosh, you have to get this brush. But if it doesn't align with how you like to apply your makeup, with how you like your makeup to look, then you don't need it. If you don't like Sonia brushes, then you for sure should not be watching this video. But if you do and you have the older Sculpt Two and you're wondering about the difference, and this is not limited edition, this is now going to be in her permanent collection, I highly recommend it because as you saw, it applies all my powder products beautifully, flawlessly, easily. I mean, this is a no-brainer type of brush. This will apply more product than her Sculpt One simply because it's smaller and just a lot denser than that design. If you don't want that type of application, then just stick to her Sculpt number 1. For the Builder 3, that's not it. For the Builder 3, I love this little brush. I'm really happy she added this to her original collection. The Builder 2 is undyed Psychoho goat hair, and I believe is a touch smaller than the Builder 3. I really dig it. It's very versatile. You could apply your mattes, your shimmers, your metallics. You can lay down or you can lightly blend. You could apply beautiful application to the lower lash line. You could smoke it out or make it very precise. I find because of its density, but it's still very soft and fluffy, you have a huge range of your application techniques that you could utilize for your eye look. If you're wondering whether you should get Builder 3 or Builder Pro, the Builder 3 is a little denser than the Builder Pro, but the Builder Pro has that taper, so you will have more precise application near and around the crease than you would with the Builder 3. You might have a more precise application actually for the inner third of your lash line if you like to apply color there, or even the inner corner of the eye, and a lot more precise under the lash line than the Builder 3. I like a really smoky lash line, so I'll go with another brush entirely. For instance, I'll probably go in with her Worker 1. In comparison, is a lot fluffier, is a lot bigger, and I just like that smoke under the lash line. Again, my preference. And this takes up less space in your brush holder because the handle is tapered as opposed to the original barrel design handle for her Builder 3. I had to get Builder 3 because again, anytime Sonia's gonna release a brush, I'm gonna buy it because that's just the way it is. If you already have the Builder Pro, I would say you don't necessarily need the Builder 3. They do different things because again, if you were to ask her, she will outline the differences to the T because they are differently designed, the density is different, the shapes are different. If you have smaller eyes, then probably Builder Pro will work out better for you because it is a smaller tapered brush and you'll just have a better application with the Builder Pro versus the Builder 3. If you have big eyes and you want that metallic shimmer application to be fast and just you don't worry about the tight lines around your crease, then maybe Builder 3 will be good for you. If you already have Builder 2, I don't have that brush and you're fine with it, maybe you don't need Builder 3 because since Builder 2 is undyed, you could use that brush with cream products and not necessarily just with powder. That will be the limiting factor concerning the Builder 3 because since it's dyed, you could primarily only use this with powder eyeshadow products. Those are my final thoughts about the brushes. I hope this video was helpful. No matter what I say, it all all comes down to you, how you apply your makeup, how your lifestyle looks, how your budget looks. If you are very happy with your makeup application and your current brush collection and every step of your makeup routine is just flawless and you're happy with it, then you don't need new brushes. If you just love to buy brushes because you collect them and that's just a thing that you do, then you buy whatever you want. But concerning these two brushes, those are my thoughts. Hopefully these demos as well help you decide if you need the new Sculpt 2 or the new Builder 3. Let me know down below if you received your brushes, how do they compare with the other brushes you might have from Sonia, if you have the old Sculpt number 2, if you have all her Builder brushes, how they perform in comparison to the new Builder 3. Sound off below. And that, my friends, is a wrap. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this video helped, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And until then, my friends, I'll see you on here again with another Get Ready With Me chit chat demo or review. Take care, and I'll see you again soon.